So I have to go. So now you have the decision whether you're going to follow what you want and it makes sense to you. And they're going to hurt nobody. She just don't understand. Because if she really understood what I feel, then mom would not be tripping. So because she don't understand that I believe God, you should be okay because you know my heart. And my heart is that I love him. So we're going to talk. That sound about right? Okay, so now you got this love, and this love is making you reason out of being obedient to God. Makes sense? If I could drive it home a little bit more, when you know that God instructs you to keep yourself, even though you're in a relationship and you really care about each other, because he wants to make sure you value that relationship, and he wants to make sure that that relationship is mature, but you decide we really care about each other, and this is just how we express ourselves. You know, I went to a comedy show yesterday. Anybody know about Kevin Hart? Anybody know that guy? So, I went to the comedy show the other day, and it was yesterday, and I went, I'm like, okay, this is cool, you know, but they were saying some stuff that really was kind of bothering me. I mean, obviously their jokes are not godly, you know, of course. I mean, I wouldn't go in there to watch, you know, oh God, let me pray for the comedians because but get to the point. So, he was talking about girls, and he was talking about the movie Think Like a Man, you know what I'm saying? It was one of the other guys, and he was saying how, you know, they had the 90-day rule, and anybody saw that movie Think Like a Man? All right, they had the 90-day rule and Think Like a Man, whereas you don't sleep with a person, treat it like a job, you know, and you give them a 90-day period or whatever, so on and so on. He began to tell the ladies in the room, it was over 14,000 people there, tell the ladies that that rule is crap and they shouldn't do it. First of all, it's crap because you're supposed to wait till you get married. Clap it up for that. All right. I thought I was in a Christian place. All right, but good. But even if you haven't, you can start now. Clap it up for that. All right. Ooh, I feel this tugging on me. Even if you're not a virgin, you can have a virgin relationship. That means for the boo that you're trying to get, if you start fresh then God may still bless it. All right, I'm sorry. That was a digressing moment. I had to come back. People like, you know how, like, because we don't heed the warnings. The enemy will tell you since you already failed, oh, well. No. I start from where I am, and I get my life right. I say, God, I want your favor, your blessings. Let me honor you and do what you tell me to. Ooh, okay, all right, let me keep moving. So Samson, he fell in love with this chick. All right, he loving this chick. So now, when you get your emotions involved, then your obedience now is affected, or it has to struggle now because you have something else fighting your allegiance to God. We get saved, we love God, we live for God. But after things come into place with our loving other people, we have to keep God first, because if we don't, then what they want could hinder what he wants. I need y'all to get that. It's okay with loving people other than God, but he must be first, because love aims to please. The moment they become more important to God, what he wants becomes less important than what they want, then you fall into sin and he can't bless you. All right, so Samson, 16 and 6. So Delilah said to Samson, please tell me where your great strength lies. She's asking him, boo, what's the secret to you being so strong? You so strong, I love you. You the man, Samson. All right, and then, I'm sorry. And with what you may be bound to afflict you. What does that mean? And what is it that will take your strength away? And he said, and Samson said to her, if they bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings, not yet dried, then I shall become weak and be like any other man. What Samson didn't know was that some people who was against Samson found out he was in love with Delilah. And they called her and said, hey, we will give you tons and tons of silver if you can get him to tell you why he's so strong so that we can conquer him. He loved her, but she decided she wanted to get paid. She was probably like, you know, I'm young enough, I can find me another man. I'm going to get this money real quick. And he's like, okay, cool. So then she comes to him and says, boo, where your strength at? And he's like, oh, baby, if you just tell him to do this, you know what I'm saying? So watch this. Somebody say, listen for the signs. Now, first of all, why are you asking me what's the key to my weakness in the first place? But because I love you, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. Maybe I can tell you. Somebody say, love can be blinding. And you know, you heard that before. Maybe you didn't think so. So I want to show you in the Bible. All right. So then it says, and Samson said to her, if they bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings, not yet dried, then I shall become weak and be like any other man. So the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 fresh bowstrings, not yet dried, and she bound him, which means she tied him up with them, just like he said. Now men were lying in wait, staying with her in a room, and she said to him, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. But he broke the bowstrings, and a strand of yarn, as a strand of yarn breaks when it touches fire. So the secret of his strength was not yet known. Somebody say he was smart. She tried to trick him into telling her, and he didn't tell her the truth. But she did it anyway, and people came. Now, how many of y'all would have saw that? But like, oh, see, I knew I couldn't trust you, you old sneaking, conniving little, ooh. Somebody say, don't ignore the signs. Verse 10. Then Delilah said to Samson, look, watch this. This tripped me out right here. Watch this, y'all. She gonna say, after she tried to get my man killed, right? She gonna say to him, look, you have mocked me and told me lies. Okay, hold on. First of all, you just tried to kill me. And you're going to sit up here and tell me what I did wrong to you? Oh, see, some of y'all manipulators out there. That's why y'all are being quiet. Like, ooh, I be doing that. You know good and well you're wrong, and you're trying to flip the script on somebody else. How could you lie to me? Oh, my gosh. Like, I thought you loved me. Okay, I'm sorry. You have mocked me and told me lies. Now, please tell me what you may be bound with. So he said to her, if they bind me securely with new ropes that have never been used, then I shall become weak like any other man. Therefore, Delilah took new ropes and bound him with them and said to him, the Philistines are coming among you, Samson. And men were lying in wait, staying in the room, but he broke them off his arms like a thread. Delilah said, Samson, until now you have mocked me and told me lies again. Y'all see him ignoring the signs? I ain't making this up. Y'all reading this with me? Okay. And told me, tell me what you may be bound with. And he said to her, if you weave 7 locks of my head into the web of the loom. See, he getting closer and closer to what his secret is. First it was bind me up and tie me up with some ropes. Now he's saying, weave my hair up. See, he already too close. Already too close. If you weave my hair, so go down to 14. So she wove it tightly with the batten of the loom and said to him, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. But, wait, I lost it. Woo. Y'all read it for me. But they woke from the sleep and pulled out the batten of the web from the loom. Then she said to him, how can you say I love you when your heart is not with me? First of all, somebody say 3 strikes. Now, if you dumb the first time, my old school teacher used to say, I don't know if I can say this. He used to say, first fool, no fool. Second fool, dang fool. You ever heard that? She played him once. He still stayed with her. She played him twice. He still stayed with her. Now she done played him 3 times. What are you going to do? She pulled the L word out on him, y'all. Y'all know that L word? Y'all know that real manipulative L word we pull on people, that L card? She said, how can you say I love you when your heart is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times and have not told me where your great strength lies. She pulled a guilt trip on the brother. How can you say you love me and you keep lying to me? So I'm thinking, what is he thinking while he's hearing this? Because in my mind, does this sound dumb? How many of y'all would have caught on? Every time you tell her what to do to kill you, she do it. People come, you win. First time, second time, third time. Okay. Watch this. 16. And it came to pass when she pestered him, nagging, daily with her words, and pressed him so that his soul was vexed to death. Man, the power of love. The fact that he allowed himself to love her so much, her words caused him to be so depressed with the fact that she was disappointed in him, even though she was trying to kill him. That he told her all his heart and said to her, no razor has ever come upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite to God from my mother's womb. If I am shaven, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Somebody say, When Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up once more, for he has told me with all his heart. She's like, I'm about to get this money. Woo-hoo. All right, I'm sorry. With all his heart. So the lords of the Philistines came up to her and brought the money in their hand. See, they brought the money this time. She is giggling like, we about to get paid. Mama, we made it. I'm sorry. Then she lulled him to sleep. This part tripped me out, bro. Not only did she tell his secret, she gonna baby him. She put him in her lap and baby, ooh, just take a nap right here. So sweet, you worked so hard today. No, she's like, I'm about to get this money. He probably thinking like, oh, she loved me. Don't nobody hold me like she do, baby. Don't nobody talk to me like you do. He feeling all close and connected. And the whole time, she has an ulterior motive. But he can't see because he didn't heed the warnings. So obviously, we know what came next. She told the secret. He went to sleep. They came. He got up ready to be the man again, except this time, they conquered him and whooped his behind. Now, I know we laugh and it looks obvious, but how many of you are not heeding signs that everybody's trying to tell you is obvious? Think about it. How many times have you saw something, felt like you knew you weren't supposed to do it, but did it anyway? Then you got blinded because you got so deep into your situation of emotions, whatever it was. I'm going to make this right. I can recall situations in my life where from the beginning I felt wrong, but I began to justify why I felt like I could make it work. I wasn't heeding the warnings. When people around me was trying to tell me, my friends, I ain't talking about anybody, I ain't talking about haters. I'm talking about people who you think trust you and love you enough to want to keep it real with you. Somebody said you need somebody to keep it real with you. How many of y'all got friends that you know going to keep it real with you? You know they want the best for you. If you don't, you need to find someone to say, hey, regardless of what I think, if you think it's going to hurt my feelings, I need you to keep it real with me. Now, just because you say it don't mean I have to listen, but I need to just be able to have somebody who's not caught in emotions. Because when I'm in my emotion, I can't see. Now, Samson was a wise man, but he was caught in his emotions, so he couldn't see. What's obvious to you and I.